Today we're at Chichen Itza, and we're visiting the Mayan ruins here with our tour guide Julian.
Sand and water, and after they put the little pieces in between, those imperfections didn't show up because they were all smooth.
And then as the weather and stuff,
this has all been put together.
Gotcha.
Because all those pieces were found in the foam.
Oh, okay.
All was into pieces. So the archaeologists put them back like a big piece of. Okay, eagle.
Yep.
Jaguar. We see them both right there. The jaguar.
See, jaguar, and then he's got
Eagle.
the heart in his
Heart.
hand.
Ready to yum yum. And now this is a man, another one, two men, and they are holding something here, something long.
Musket?
And this long thing is blowing sound music.
Ah,
So they were playing flutes. So
Ah.
we got it. Platform for music, dances, and sacrifices. Normally, we say that we have two animals here, jaguar, eagle, but actually we have four. Jaguar, eagle, serpent, iguana. So we have four for the same price. Now look at this. You remember the movie The Sixth Sense?
yes.
There was this very famous phrase, I see dead people everywhere.
Yes.
Look at this.
Dead people everywhere.
When the archaeologists were putting all this back together, because it was all falling down too, they saw the carvings of skulls and they said, yes, we found the graveyard. So they call it graveyard. And they dug inside the graveyard looking for
Bones.
for tombs, for human remains. Why not jewels? Never found anything. The platform was solid, filled with dirt, rocks, but no bodies. So the question is, where are the bodies? What did they do with them? Because they used to do, I tell you, sacrifices a lot.
Mhm.
The answer is cremation. They burned everything, the head, the body. If they used to wear some kind of padding protection, all was burned. And ashes were scattered, not buried, scattered on the platform. That's why they never found bones. Ashes. And the shape of the cemetery. Listen, if we look at this platform from above, we see the shape of a T lying down. That is T-shaped. For the Mayans, T symbolizes wind. What would the wind do to the ashes?
Scatter.
Everywhere, in the four compass points. In that moment, the mission of the player was accomplished. So these ball players were born, were raised, knowing that he may die like that. And we used to say that the loser died, but today we're not quite sure. We think that this was considered an honor, and they must earn it. So the winner, finally, we think so.
Yeah.
We'll go there. The number of skulls we have already calculated here, 4,000 skulls in this platform. But that doesn't mean that they did only 4,000 sacrifices. Remember, they were for hundreds of years doing sacrifices, performing these offerings. So 4,000 is not enough. Maybe we should multiply this at least by 10.
Wow.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Lots of sacrifices.
Yeah.
Okay, we go to the ball court now. The big stadium. Would you like to take the photo of the Chacmoa? Muéstraselo. Imagine the Chichen Itza priest sitting there on his jaguar throne. We'll see. And then the people from Uxmal, the people from Ekbalam, from other villages, used to come to play or to watch pok ta pok. That's how they call the ball ritual. It was like a ball game, but it was not for fun. It was for ceremonial, no?
Yeah.
So it was a religious stuff. So look, so he was there. He was maybe receiving some presents, some offerings. After that, they used the steps on this side to get on top of the wall so they could watch the pok ta pok happening inside. So how did they play? How often? How did they do the sacrifices? Let's go inside and I'll tell you all. Let's play ball! I brought you right here because these are the best preserved carvings which tell us the whole story of the ball ritual. Let me begin with that big circle. Big circle. Real ball size, symbolic ball size. Okay, we got it clear. And see what's in the ball? I see a skull, profile skull. The skull in the ball means death. So every time when they played ball, somebody died. 7 players to the right, 7 players to the left side of the ball. So 7 against 7, fighting for a ball. There's a player right here. You can see his face, the head. Actually, this was like the real height for Mayan people. From here to here. This is the bat, this is the racket. All of them using the same kind of padding, okay? Now, here we see the first player of the 7. He's the captain. The captain is kneeling down. Here we see his neck. His head is gone. Sprinkling out from his neck, we see snakes. Snakes coming out from his neck. This is definitely symbolic. For the Mayas, the snake meant fertility, symbol of fertility. So a man giving snakes was giving life, fertility. 7 serpents. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players in the team. So when he died for all 7. Now the central snake coming out turns into a tree. You can see the branches with flowers, fruits, seeds, flowers, life coming after. So he died to give life. He gave his own. The other captain here still got his own head. The right hand has a knife, and in the left hand he has the head. He cut it, blood from the other one. So one captain cut the head of the other one. So we modern people, winner, loser, fine. But after we understood all this, that he was giving life with his own life, he died for it. So we think this was heroic. So he was the chosen one. He was the winner. So they didn't sacrifice the loser, they sacrificed the winner. Now, how did they play to get to this ultimate moment? Let me tell you. Seven players against 7 players. They used to run like this, back and forth, not alone. The rings are here in the middle, so they played in the middle. Okay? Right. So 7 against 7. They choose the best player in the team to be the captain.
Yes.
That's the ring. If you move here, basketball hoop version, Mayan version. So the idea was to get the ball right through there, but the ball was this size, made of solid gum, like 3 pounds, almost 4. Can you imagine a 2 kilos ball trying?
Yeah.
A Mayan like this, small. Anyway, these ball players were born to be ball players. So they were not trying to do something they couldn't. They were prepared, physically and mentally. Among the 7 players, the captain used to run on the ledge. 1 up, 6 down, 6, 1 more up. So 12 players fighting for the ball. They were trying to pass this ball to the captain. Only the captain up there could score. 1 goal, game over. Because it was so difficult, 1 goal was enough. And the second part was the decapitation of one of the captains. We just saw that.
Yeah.
We thought the loser. Now we go for the winner because it was considered was the prize.
The roar winner.
And they did the sacrifice up there in that balcony with big serpent columns at the entrance. So when they cut the head, everyone could see. The spectators on top of the walls, Chichen Itza chief there watching, visiting priests watching on the other side, and there were teams down below, teams more, waiting, expecting for their turn to play pok to pok. So my friends, this was not a sport. This was totally a religious activity. And the name of this ball ritual, come closer. You can listen to this. Was called pok ta pok. Can you hear the echo?
Mm-hmm.
So they call it the way it sound. Pok,
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 pok.
pok. Pok, ta, pok. And they didn't play on dirt. They didn't play on grass. All was like cement floor. So it was definitely hot and hard. Now, how often did they play pok ta pok? Nobody can tell. If things were good, they used to do Thanksgiving. If things were not going okay, gods were angry, sacrifices to stop the anger of gods. They used to have an excuse to do sacrifices permanently. We think today that the sacrifices were necessary for population control. That's why they did it. For gods, yes, but for population control. Fine. This has all been new stuff. Maya, Toltec, Itza. We're heading for 20 more minutes to see this ancient Maya part. To see the observatory is the best. Columns. Something smaller for sure. Over there we saw the huge complex. Platform, even the carvings are equal to the carvings in the bigger one. Pyramid, small version. And a little farther we'll see the ball court. So everything is here, but smaller, much smaller. except the round platform over here. Where we're going next is this astronomical observatory. This idea in your heads for something cylindrical with a dome for telescopes, not far away. We see a cylindrical tower ending flat, no dome, flat, and got windows in the top. And through the windows, they used to do astronomical observations. I'll tell you how they did it, and it's where knowledge came from. Coming up next, the observatory. We're gonna, well, first look at the observatory. I said it's a round or cylindrical construction. It is unique because there's nothing like this anywhere else in Mexico. Maybe with round platforms, maybe with rounded corners, something oval, but perfectly cylindrical like this. It's only Chichen Itza.
See the bird?
It's a vulture. Now the windows, you can see a couple of them still left.
Yeah.
Those windows were used for the observation of the sky, but they didn't have any telescope, lenses, naked eye, and a sextant. The window divided by 2 sticks across. So that window was dividing a big piece of sky in 4 parts. So like that, they could see where, when, how the star, the constellation was, and they were trying to find some relationship with the weather, with the temperature, with any special phenomenon, whatever they considered important, they wrote it down. So next time, when the same star was back in the same place, they checked the records, and if things were just happening like same before, so they could make of that a cycle, a calendar, something like that, no?
1 year.
It was a matter of time and patience to know what was going to repeat or not. But these Mayan priests didn't work, so they got plenty of time to do that.
Nothing.
Now, for zenith observation, it was forbidden to the Mayas to look straight up, like this, back then.
Why?
The priests didn't want to give them any chance to get to know everything happening in the sky. So they told them this was forbidden.
Forbidden.
But
Only
how
they
did they
could
do
do
it? In the small square platform, when we go up to the right on the floor, we see a circumference 6 feet diameter. Nowadays it's full with dirt. In those times it was full with water. They used the water to reflect that part. So the priest would look down instead of up. The night was a mirror. During the day, the same circumference with water, they put a stick in the middle. So they used the sunlight to have a clock. So they did observation, calculation, more observation through the windows. So we say this: the most important temple from Chichen Itza is not the pyramid. This is 500 years older than the pyramid. So 500 years of knowledge. They learned a lot of stuff here. And finally, it's called the caracol in Spanish, snail in English, because they used to have from the door to the windows level inside, in the very center, the spiraling staircase. So when they were going up, they were going towards infinity, eternity. They were going to heaven or near gods. It was a symbolic way for connection. Observatory.
So we stopped at Cenote Selva to swim after we went to Chichen Itza. I did not get to bring my phone down there, but I'm videoing it now that we're done. Nice cold water.
All right. So you were saying this is a smaller version of
Yeah,
Merida?
because Merida has 1 million people. Valladolid has 150,000. So it's a small town compared to Merida. But it has quite a few. Well, it actually has a cathedral.
Mhm.
The church that you're gonna see now, it's not a cathedral. It used to be a monastery. The monks who came from Spain to teach the indigenous people the new religion, Catholicism. They built lots of churches, nunneries, and monasteries. So this is actually a monastery. The monks, Franciscan monks, this is where they lived and also where they taught the Mayan Indians the new religion. It's actually the biggest Catholic building in Yucatan because it's a monastery where the monks live and an adjoining church.
Yeah.
One of Alma Rosa's brothers lives here in Valladolid. Look at that. That's the monastery and the church. Want to take a picture?
Yeah.
In the backyard, a big cenote where they got the water to water the gardens because the monks grew vegetables here, fruit and vegetables, to cater the population of the town. The town is, well, it's actually now, it has gotten together, but this was separated from the city. So this is more Spanish. It's a cute, small Spanish colonial town. That's how I could describe Valladolid.
Now, are these people's houses or these
No, they
buildings?
used to be private houses. Nowadays, the families already died and the grandkids inherited the houses and already sold them. Some of them give them for rent for different businesses. Like for example, this is where you come and buy a bicycle. This is a department store. That's the city hall. So a lot of the ancient buildings that you will see, a lot of the colonial buildings are not houses anymore. They are businesses. So there are businesses in those houses. So this is the city hall. This is where the mayor of Valladolid has his offices. Well, look at the buildings. This red one, the pink one over there, all Spanish. So the people from this town do a lot of agriculture. People grow papaya, watermelon, cantaloupe, bee honey. There's a lot of bee honey around this area. The guy who owns this property that you see here, very nice building, this is actually a hotel. And this is the nicest hotel in town. The guy who owns this hotel owns the cenote too. It is a hotel with a lot of character. Very nice hotel. They located in an ancient building, in a very old building.
Are those real pigeons in the windows?
No, they're fake. So the Spanish conquistadors came to this area, and it's the same thing that happened in Merida. Valladolid used to be a Mayan city, and the Spanish conquistadors made the Mayan Indians to destroy their temples, and with the stones they started building the different colonial
This is a nice hotel too.
buildings that you see, including the second largest cathedral in in the whole state of Yucatan. We only have 2 cathedrals. The big one that is located in Merida, capital city of the Mexican state of Yucatan, and this one located in Valladolid, which is the second largest city. So keep in mind that part of the stones that were used to build this cathedral were taken from Mayan pyramids.
And here again, they have the slots, for the
Slots
muskets.
For the muskets. Unfortunately, we can't get in. Most of the churches have been closed since the pandemic started.
Did you draw it? Is that your phone?
So this is the Cathedral of Valladolid, second largest city in the Mexican state of Yucatan. Besides agriculture, honey production, people in Valladolid also work in the tourism industry. The fact of this town being so close to the Mayan pyramids of Chichen Itza and other Mayan pyramids, because Chichen Itza are not the only ones nearby. The fact of being close to Mayan pyramids makes this place a perfect spot to make a stop when you are traveling from Merida to the Mayan pyramids, or from Cancun to the Mayan pyramids. So people always make a stop here to have lunch or to spend a night in one of the nice hotels located in this town. Cattle raising is another activity, and that's about it.
What's this building right here?
This is a market, but only it's
Open air market?
no, but it is. It used to be a market where people used to come and buy vegetables, fruit, meat, and now, since a few years ago, this building has been converted or turned into a food court. It's a food court where you can come and order portions of food. 50 pesos, 60 pesos an order. So a lot of people go to that food court and eat. All these buildings, colonial buildings, very tall ceilings, very thick walls. Why did the Spanish people build their houses with very tall ceilings? Because of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a house with very tall ceilings, the house is not that hot. It doesn't get that hot. That's why most of these buildings have very tall ceilings. And as I already told you, see, families don't live in these houses anymore. Mm-hmm. These houses have been turned into businesses, shops. All these
Street
lights looks very, very
authentic,
charming, authentic. They are shops, cafes, bars. See the buildings, Sharon?
Mm-hmm.
All colonial. See, restaurant. This avenue already had a lot of shops, restaurants, and bars, but due to the pandemic, a lot of them have gone out of business. This is, for example, a place where you come and eat baguettes and drink coffee. This is a very small hotel boutique. Look at the doorways. Original. That wood has been there for years. See, there's shops, hotels. So a lot of people walk along this avenue in the evenings when it's not hot. Mostly tourists and street dogs. The street dogs always follow you. If you're walking from downtown to the monastery, the street dogs are going to follow you. Very, very old buildings. Unfortunately, the pandemic has made a lot of these businesses
Suffer.
Yeah. Look at this house. It's so old. And it looks abandoned. Well, it's actually abandoned. But there's somebody who owns the property. And I don't know why he or she hasn't sold it.
Fixed it up.
There's already trees on the roof.